YouTube, Nikki Steve's back again. So this video, I'm going to talk about Phillip Rivers, whether or not I think he's a Hall of Famer after the news that he decided to retire after 17 seasons in the NFL yesterday. And for those of you that are new to the channel, on this channel, I mainly talk about pro sports, primarily the Philadelphia Eagles and Philadelphia 76ers in the NFL and NBA respectively. And I also will throw other sports-related subjects and some life content in there as well. So anyhow, let's get this started. Okay, one more note. So for those of you that are new, the first link in the description box is going to be the link to my sports playlist and all my sports videos. Then the second link is going to be the link to my life videos, my life-related content. So anyhow, now let's get this started. And for those of you Eagles fans wondering, am I going to talk about Nick Sirianni and his hiring? Still, I will tell you, come tomorrow or at latest early Saturday morning, I will make a video about the Eagles hiring Nick Sirianni. So stay tuned for that. So now with Phillip Rivers' retirement from the National Football League after 17 seasons, now the debate is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Famer? So I'm going to get into it. I'm going to say yes. Now, from my point of view, I'm looking at Phillip Rivers' career as a guy who throughout his run, he was consistently one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League throughout his run. Throughout his 14 years, he started with the Chargers, because remember, his first two seasons, Drew Brees started over him. So he started 14 to 16 seasons with the Chargers, then a season with the Colts, which is his final season. Throughout that time, he was consistently one of the best quarterbacks. If you look at everything Rivers accomplished during his time, he made it to 8 different Pro Bowls, so that's 8 Pro Bowls. He was voted the 2013 Comeback Player of the Year. So out of all of his seasons, 7 seasons, he started in a playoff game. 6 of those 7 seasons, he started in a playoff game with the Chargers, and that final one was with the Colts, and that lost to the Buffalo Bills on Wild Card Weekend. So yeah, I got that from Rivers. And he was also a guy who, in a lot of cases with the Chargers, he was a guy that had a lot of crap his way with the Chargers. Whether those be teams where he didn't have many good wide receivers, the defense really didn't do them much favors, especially in the 2010s, once LaDainian Tomlinson was gone, once some of their key pieces on the defense left or fell off. They didn't have much help on the defense. Phillip Rivers didn't have a lot of receivers to really throw the ball to beside Antonio Gates. So he was the guy, and a lot of times had a lot of team surrounds him that really was not that good, but he made the most of it. Some of those seasons where the Chargers got to 9 wins, or even sometimes 7 or 8 wins, he was one of the guys that sometimes got them either on the verge of the playoffs or to the playoffs. Yeah, that 2010-2011 season, they finished with a winning record. They didn't make the playoffs. They finished 9-7, but they were on the verge. And Phillip Rivers helped that season. He was a big contributor, throwing over 30 touchdown passes that season. Look at 2013 when they did make the playoffs. That was their first time they made it since LaDainian Tomlinson left. They made it as a 9-7 team. You had Phillip Rivers that year threw over 30 touchdown passes and was voted Comeback Player of the Year. He was the main reason they got there. He was definitely the Chargers team MVP. Then you even had that 2018-2019 run where the Chargers had a pretty solid team. You did have Phillip Rivers, one of the main contributors there, and he played a good season that year. That was his last fantastic year with the Chargers. He consistently delivered in being the signal caller for the Chargers. He consistently led the team and put forth his best effort, even through a lot of shitty situations, quite honestly. That's one of the reasons I consider him a Hall of Famer. Even look at that 08-09 season where they finished 8-8, won their division with an 8-8 record off a tiebreaker with the Denver Broncos. Rivers played pretty good that season. He was one of the contributors to helping them stay organized enough to make the playoffs. And even some of those seasons where they didn't make it, where Rivers still played good, he was one of the reasons that they could get to 7 or 8 wins, or even some of their 9-7 seasons they missed the playoffs. So Rivers was definitely doing a good job as the quarterback to keep his team relevant, because that's what signal callers are supposed to do, make the team around them better than they have any business being. And Phillip Rivers, he made some of those Chargers teams better than they had any business being in some cases. That's what you're supposed to do as a starting quarterback. So that's one thing I think reason right there. And he's a guy who stayed loyal to the Chargers. He's a guy who consistently went out there and played his best despite some of the crap he was given, whether those be the crap with the teams or some of the situations with the office, such as the situation where they fired Marty Schottenheimer after a 14-2 season, which I think mainly did that because the general manager didn't like Schottenheimer and he was looking for a reason to get rid of him, but he did that after a 14-2 season. Despite all that, Rivers stayed loyal. And you remember that time, he tore his ACL in the divisional round, the 2007-2008 season against the Colts. He went out there the following week in Foxborough against the Patriots, the infamous 18-1 Patriots, and he gave it everything he had. Now, unfortunately, his team fell short, but for a guy who was playing with a torn ACL and everyone knew it, he went out there and gave everything he had. And then you look at him versus Eli Manning. Now, Eli Manning's considered in contention for the Hall of Fame. We all know the reason why. Because of the 2 Super Bowl wins, the 2 great playoff runs with the Giants. Those 2 great playoff runs by Eli Manning. He also have some seasons where Eli played mediocre at times. Now you compare Eli Manning's overall work versus Philip Rivers' overall work. You take away the 2 great playoff runs Eli had, Philip Rivers has a better overall body of work through his career than Eli Manning, taking away the 2 Super Bowl wins. Like I said, Philip Rivers was elected to 8 Pro Bowls, and he was a guy that, and also you look at his all-time stats, he's 5th in most touchdown passes all time. The head of Dan Marino has over 400 career touchdown passes. He also has over 63,000 passing yards all time, which is 5th all time. But yeah, when you look at Philip Rivers, overall body work, he was consistently one of the best quarterbacks of his time. He put up some record-setting numbers throughout his career, specifically passing yards and touchdown passes. He also had over 200 career starts. And people say, well, he never won a Super Bowl. That's the reason he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, which to those that are going to make that argument for him not being a Hall of Famer, okay, then why did Dan Marino, Jim Kelly get in the Hall of Fame? And you can also throw Warren Moon in that conversation as well. So if you're going to say he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because he never won a Super Bowl, again, what about Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, Warren Moon? So if you're going to make an argument that he shouldn't be a Hall of Famer or that he was in the Hall very good but not a Hall of Famer, there's got to be more to the argument beside, oh, he never won a Super Bowl. And those are my thoughts on whether or not Philip Rivers is a Hall of Famer. I do think he's a Hall of Famer. For those of you that watch this video, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up. Also hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. And feel free to comment, let me know if you think Philip Rivers is a Hall of Famer. If you don't think he's a Hall of Famer, let me know why in the comment section. Although give me a reason more than he never won a Super Bowl. So if you do think Philip Rivers isn't a Hall of Famer, let me know in the comment section. They'll give him more of a reason than he never won a Super Bowl. And most of all to everyone watching this video, have a wonderful night. Nicky Steve signing off, and I will see you next time when I upload my video giving my thoughts on the Eagles hiring Nick Sirianni as their head coach. Officially signing off. Have a great night. YouTube, I will see you next time.